WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Welcome back to the second two-stack review of the day. So this time I have then two stacks. I have the Blender's Cut and I have the Apricot Brandy Cask strength. So, very interesting new bonders from Ireland. Three guys that started off with craftirishbeer.com, I think it was called, and then they went into the whiskey world. They were actually part of the Belfast Whiskey Week. At the end, they actually launched this product, basically, as well as this product. These two products were launched there, their First Cut and their Blender's Cut. This is all juice from the Great Northern Distillery. And what they do is they actually buy it and they blend it according to their specifications. So I'm going to actually just pour this first. This is 64% ABV, which is fairly high in my opinion. And this over here is my, whoops, I need a new glass. Is the 63.7%. 59 days in a Apricot Brandy French oak cask. Changed this whiskey and improved it actually, which is great. On the color, which is very, very unique, it got lighter, and I have no idea how you can make a whiskey lighter. Oh, I'm doing something wrong. This is the tawny port I'm comparing it to, and that's why it's lighter. Let's get rid of this for 1 second. That was embarrassing, because I want to have the, where's my bottle here? I want to have my Blender's Cut. There, I didn't put it down there. All right, so this is the right one. Let's pour this a little bit. And let's see here. It can't get lighter, can it? No, there's not actually much of a difference, if any difference between the two of these. So I can't see any difference. All right. I have no idea. What color is Apricot Brandy? I do not know, to be honest. Very interesting that these, the tawny as well as the Apricot Brandy came in a box. Nice, beautiful box. And the original, the First Cut and the Blender's Cut did not. So I assume, I make an ass of you and me, I assume, that the boxes weren't ready yet by the time they launched them at the Belfast Whiskey Week. 64%, 63.7. I think I mentioned whiskey base number 167616, 82 euros, the same thing as the tawny port. All right. What I did not mention, for those of you that did not see the video before, we actually have a blend here of 40% single grain, which were in virgin oak cask. We have 40% that was in ex-bourbon cask. We have 8%, which was single pot still, which is unique to Ireland. So we have malted and unmalted whiskey. We have 10% double distilled single malt, which was an ex-bourbon cask, and we have 2% peated malt, which was also in a bourbon cask. Yeah, all right, so let's get to nosing the two of those. It's a very sweet, a very agreeable nose. It's a little bit rough around the edges, a little bit young, a little bit metallic, a little bit of sawdust, a little bit of wood, and a lot of grain in here. This is actually exactly the same whiskey, just 59 days finished in the Apricot Brandy. So a lot happened in that cask. I was not a big fan of the tawny. I did not think that it improved the whiskey. This has improved it a lot. There's quite a few people in the German world, at least, and I know in British as well. Then sometimes in America, they like taking little tiny casks, 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter, 5 liter, 10 liter, 20 liters. And they'll actually precondition the cask with maybe rum or with a fortified wine, maybe a port or a sherry, maybe a Marsala, maybe a Amarone, maybe something else. And then they'll actually let that liquid be in there for months or weeks and take it out and then pour in maybe from some Glenfarclas 105 or some other very high proof whiskey that doesn't have a great finish to it. And they actually try to improve on the original product. And I'm going to say in about 80% of the cases that I've tasted the whiskey afterwards, it wasn't better, at least in my personal opinion. And so it's very, very difficult to do a great finish. And it's even more difficult to do a great finish in a tiny micro cask, because sometimes 2 days in a 1 liter cask can be more than enough. And maybe 2 weeks in a 2 liter cask could be more than enough. And even in a 5 liter cask, maybe 2 months may be more than enough. And so I'm not really sure how big that apricot brandy French oak was. I can do the math real quick. We have 222, so it has to be at least 140 liters basically. More than that. So it's actually going to be a fairly good sized cask. And in that time, there was enough interaction with the cask that it changed this whiskey in a positive way. Well done. Let's try it. 63.7%. Cheers. Mm. Mm. Now I'm going to use like an analogy here to describe something. Imagine you have 5 people in a room, and these 5 people are going to start singing. And you have at the very beginning, like when you happy birthday to you, at the very beginning you have the la, and then you have someone like me at the end of la, and I really get out of sync and I get out of, that's what happens here. At the very beginning it's like, oh nice, and then at the end there's 1 or 2 people a little bit out of sync. But still a very, very nice whiskey and amazingly smooth and silky for 63.7%. I don't even want to put water in it. I have. It doesn't get worse, but it's really, as it is, a very, very nice whiskey. 3 to 4 years old, wonderfully done. Thank you very much. Over here, on the other hand, I have the same 5 people in that room. And I have the feeling that they're talking in loud voices. Maybe one of them's from New York, and they're talking, or one's from Louisiana, and they're talking with each other and almost against each other. Why did I pick 5 people? Well, look at that label. 5 different types of casks, the 5 components. I really have the feeling that through the apricot brandy that the 5 people came into harmony with each other. And over here, they're not yet there. They're talking at least the same language. They're not Polish and Russian and Japanese and American and Brazil. At least they're still all speaking English, but yet they're not in sync. And somehow that apricot brandy put this in sync. By the way, this was sold out quickest. Someone tried it and was like, this is good, buy it. And so I was very, very happy and very lucky to get this at all. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water in here. Try it one last time. Also on the nose, it's nice. It's better. Mm-hmm. It does get a little bit better with water. Not too much, but a little bit. 63.7% is a whammy. But this is actually a very good whiskey. Much better. Oh, nice. Much better than expected. Yes, it's 80% grain, and you do notice it. Yes, it's less than 5 years old. You do notice that as well, but not often. This is fairly good. I'm going to give it a C plus, almost B minus. So it's a C plus plus plus. B minus a little bit too strong. I've had whiskeys that are B minus, C plus plus that are a little bit better than this. So it's a B. It's a C plus. This was a solid C, and so this was actually a C plus here. Value for money, 82 euros. That's really, really pushing it. I mean, come on, 3 years old. This is more than 28 euros per year in the bottle. The original, this was 69 euros. So you're paying 12 euros more for the apricot brandy. 59-day-old finish. That's a lot of money. So do the math here. 222 bottles times 12. That's over 2,000 euros. Just more you have to pay for this with the whole range. Yes, of course, you have to take off at least half of that for different prices for the VAT and for the excise tax and so on, for the alcohol taxes and so on. But still, that's a lot of money for the difference there. Is it worth it? In this case, yes. For the Tawny, not really. For the Barbados rum, haven't tried it. And is it better for the Zoltan? Probably not, to be honest. Zoltan and I, it has to be very, very well done before I can excellently recommend it. All right, thank you very much for watching. My question of the day is brandy. I've had an apple brandy from a New York distillery, was not good. It was something like Applejack brandy, was not good. This is my second brandy, which had a name with an apricot. So my question of the day is, what other types of brandies that have been used to finish a whiskey do you know about? Apricot brandy, Applejack brandy, what else? What other types of brandies are out there? I don't think cognacs have any type of flavor definitions. If they do, hey, write it down in the comments. I'd love to hear that. Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. 222 bottles, 222 bottles. So sorry, you'll probably never ever see them, but that's what I like to do. So that's my privilege that I have over here of getting my hands on some very exotic and some very rare bottles. See you soon, Whiskey Jason here. Please share, please like, please tell others. Bye-bye.